You want a quick, surefire way to be immediately happy, want nothing. And this is so contrary to our societal conditioning. But if you give a desire to a want, Zen talks about, and Buddhism talks about, the root of all suffering is desire. And it is so spot on. All our myriad of desires, it's like writing checks that we just can't cash. And then we are upset, disappointed, frustrated, saddened that the check bounces. It's because our desires will always exceed reality. And the moment you achieve a certain desire, a new one crops up, and it's like that game. With I think the monkeys are little like gophers that pop their head up, and you have to hammer them down. Pop their head up, and it's this never-ending stream of desires. Or another great example, if you ever watch classic TV, I Love Lucy, and she's working at a chocolate factory, and she has to, I believe, put the chocolates in these boxes. And at first, the line, there's like a belt where the chocolates sit on, and the line, it's like a machine, and it keeps going and going, and it starts slow, and she's able to do it. And then the belt moves more quickly, and she starts stressing out and not able to keep up, and then she starts putting them in their mouth, putting them in the chocolates in her shirt. And life is the same way. The moment I want a loving relationship, I want to meet someone, and then we meet someone. Okay, well, now I want children. Now I want a house. Now I want all these material things. Now I want my lover or partner to be a certain way, treat me a certain way, act different. It's never ending. Our desires are just a tremendous burden and a vicious, voracious beast whose appetite is never quenched. And yet we don't ever sit down and say, whoa, the problem in my life is not my goals, my dreams, my ambitions haven't been achieved. The problems and the suffering of my life is I have too many desires. I mean, even, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, desire. We're like these desire junkies that never get our fix. We never get satisfied. We wake up, oh, I desire to sleep in more. Oh, I wish I didn't have to work. I desire that there is no traffic. I desire that my coworkers treated me differently. I desire my boss was nicer. Oh, I desire that I made more money. I desire that I didn't have to work so many hours. And we never come to the conclusion, wait, hey, I got an idea. Significantly reduce my desires, and the correlation of my happiness automatically will rise, will elevate. And even in spiritual growth, you go to these seminars, you go listen to spiritual teachers, and oftentimes you even look at books like The Secret that amplify your desires. No, the reason you're not getting your desires met is because you're not visualizing, you're not thinking positively. And I just love spiritual teachers that say, no, listen, reduce your desires. Stop desiring to be spiritually enlightened. Stop desiring to change yourself. Stop desiring for your partner to be different than who they are. And be at peace with what is. Accept what is. Enjoy your life as is. And just let go, man. Just let go. And learn how to be content with so very little. I talked about earlier. One of my greatest spiritual journeys was the 2.5-month solo bicycle trip I did around the United States, and I started off with all these material possessions, and I started sending them back because I had to carry them. And it's amazing how little you need when you have to carry everything. And in a way, all our desires, we carry them. And when you become a place spiritually where you say, I'm sufficient, I'm content as I am, you could start letting go, like these rocks we carry around, and I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. And magically your life becomes peaceful, tranquil, content, and you become less stressed, less burdened, because fulfilling our never-ending desires is exhausting. It's a burden that I don't know why we want to carry, and you need so little to be happy. It's just, when I was on that trip, I was just amazed how little I needed to be happy. And just be a shedder of desires. Instead of what desire can I accomplish, ask yourself, what desire can I eliminate? What possession can I eliminate? What responsibility, obligation can I eliminate? And I never understood this desire for all these material possessions. It's like we are so focused on the immediate gain, and we don't look at the long-term consequence and price. For me, the most valuable desire, one that I choose not to shed, is my freedom, the ability to do with my life what I want each and every day. And I know the only way I can have that freedom and savor that is by needing very little to nothing, and just living a very minimalistic lifestyle. And I can never understand why people take on such financial burdens, take on marriages that are unfulfilling, or children that end up being a huge sacrifice. I'm not saying it's wrong, and for certain situations people decide this is a sacrifice they're willing to make, but oftentimes we're just very short-sighted. We look, I want that, I want this, I want that, and we don't look at the long-term cost and consequence. So you want to start being happy, just want nothing. Learn to do without. And if you travel and you go to third world countries, it's amazing. I lived in South Africa for a while, and it was just a real shock, the stark contrast between the haves and have-nots. And usually it was the black people, the black South Africans, and the white South Africans. The blacks just seemed so much more happy. It's so much happier, more content. There was a joy and a vivaciousness in their eyes that they had so little. And the whites, who had these houses and the maids, the servants, the big gated property, and yet there was a sense of stress, because the more you want, the more life energy resources you burn up. Now, obviously, it's miserable to be living an impoverished life and not have food, shelter, but there's not a huge difference when you think about it between the rich person and the poor person, not impoverished, but a person who has a minimal amount of things. They both have roof over their head. They both have food in their stomach. One might have to take the bus. The other might have a fancy car. But our desires, just when you take a look at them from afar and you start examining them, from our physical desires, our spiritual desires, our relationship desires, it's just we really get a better picture of why we're maxed out, why we're stressed, why we have problems. It's not life isn't going our way. It's we're just greedy, want, and just the fast track to spiritual peace is just complete and total radical simplicity.